Come on. Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Once again, we are on. I am Mojo King. Mike Steph is with us, and we are Hidden Gems Football, brought to you by the 19 Media Group. This episode is focused on the Monday night doubleheader. We have two for the price of one on Monday night. All right, no time for small talk. Let's just jump right into it. The 4-2 Baltimore Ravens are heading to Tampa Bay to play the 4-2 Buccaneers. The Baltimore Ravens are 3.5-point favorites, while the total is projected to be 49.5 points. That means Vegas is telling us that Baltimore will score 26.5 and Tampa Bay will score 23. As far as skilled positions, both teams are looking pretty healthy coming into the game. All right, Mike Steph, what do you think about this?
The premier game on our slate is this one. The Ravens have come into this game winning 4 straight and are 4th in the league in scoring at 29.5 points a game and are 1st in yards per game, total offense, that is, at 453 yards per game. Do you know they're actually 1st in rushing at over 200 yards per game on the ground? Lamar Jackson is having another MVP type year, completing a 67% clip of his passes and 67 yards per game on the ground. He's passed for 10 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions, and he has another 2 on the ground. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're also into this game at a record of 4-2. First flew off dropping 51 points, New Orleans Saints on the road. They're number 2 in the league with 29.7 points per game. And Baker Mayfield is balling as well. He's completing passes at a 70% clip, and he's 9th in the league in passing yardage, that is. The wide receiver duo of Godwin and Evans should keep pressure on any defense, even the vaunted Baltimore defense. So, down to the brass tacks. You have 2 of the top 4 scoring offenses in the league going against each other. I'm going under. Something's telling me just to go under 48.5 points. Listen, for as well as Baker Mayfield has been playing, he has been coughing up the ball. I think he had 3 interceptions last game. And you do that against the Ravens are going to turn that into points and prevent you from scoring. So that's why I'm going to go under. As for who I believe is going to win this game, it's going to be the Ravens. I believe, and I might be mistaken, but I know the stat is something to the effect of Lamar Jackson has only lost 2 times against NFC team. I believe he's like 20-2, 19-2, something to that effect. And I believe that winning tradition is going to continue. So, Baltimore, -3.5, over under, going under.
All right. For me, as the 4-2 records would suggest, both of these teams playing really well, particularly on the offensive side. On the flip side, both of these defenses have been a little bit questionable, except for Baltimore's run defense, which is elite. But the deciding factor for me is that the Ravens have been playing better competition. The last 3 weeks, they've played the Bills, the Bengals, and the Commanders. They completely wiped the floor with the Bills and beat the Commanders by 7. The Bengals game was pretty close, but the Bengals actually came back to make that score a little bit closer. So I feel like they dominated those last 3 games. All right, so as far as bets go, like I indicated, I'm taking the Ravens minus the 3.5 points. As far as the over-under, 49.5 is pretty high, but these offenses seem so well-tuned at the moment, I am going to go over. All right, for the second half of our Twin Bill Monday Night Football, we have the 3-2 Los Angeles Chargers heading to Arizona to face the 2-4 Cardinals. The Chargers are 1.5-point favorites, and the projected total is 44.5 points. That means Vegas is telling us that the Chargers will score 23, while the Cardinals score 21.5. The Chargers do have a couple of doubtful players that will make this test a little bit tougher for them. Most importantly, defensive end Joey Bosa is doubtful with the hip injury. On the other side of the ball, Quentin Johnson is doubtful with the knee injury. And to add to the wide receiver troubles, Ladd McConkey also has a hip injury and he is questionable for it tonight. On the Cardinals side, they actually got good injury news as Marvin Harrison Jr. has cleared concussion protocol and he will be in this game. Mike Steph, what do you got to say about the Chargers versus the Cardinals?
The Los Angeles Chargers into this game with the number one scoring defense, only allowing 13.2 per game, as opposed to the Arizona Cardinals, who are 27th in the league, averaging 27.2 points per game. And that speaks to the change in culture. That speaks to the coaching acumen of Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh has implemented his coaching, has implemented the mentality, which is hard-nosed defense, running game, mistake-free football. They're only averaging 18.2 a game, and that's the Chargers, but 3-2. And tell you the truth, I keep on saying, if it was not for the injury to Justin Herbert, I'm quite sure they probably would have beat Pittsburgh because they were leading in that game. I believe 10-7 before Herbert had to go out. When it comes down to the Cardinals, you got Kyler Murray, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You have Marvin Harrison, who I believe was knocked out of last week's game to a concussion. But just looking at these two teams straight up, you have somebody on one sideline that knows how to win, that's a proven winner, and then you have somebody on the other sideline, the opposite sideline, that's pretty much feeling his way. And it's going to be a hard uphill battle. So I think this is going to be a knock 'em out, smash mouth football game. And the Chargers, I'm taking the points. So Chargers are going to win by 3 points. And that over under, I'm going to go under because they're not going to be able to consistently move the ball on this vaunted Charger defense. And the Chargers offense is going to be all about ball control. J.K. Dobbins is going to try to run that ball straight down their throat, and they're going to grind this game away. So my prediction will be Chargers -3, over under.
This game is an interesting contrast in styles. The Chargers have been winning mostly by running, ball control, and defense. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, at least in theory, have an explosive offense, and that's what's been catapulting them to wins or even close battles when they lose. The question I have is, how much does Joey Bosa affect this defense? Are they still able to slow down teams like they've been doing pretty much all season? I happen to think that they will, and that's the reason I am picking the Chargers at 1.5 point favorites. In addition to that, the 44.5 points, I think I will go under because I see a way for the Chargers to win and for that to go under. I don't expect the Arizona offense to put up a lot of points this week. All right, that's it. That's all we got. Next week, I am vowing that Mike, Steph, and I will be side to side. But then again, didn't he say the same last week? So who knows? You'll just have to tune in and find out.
So it is just football. It's been a part. Ah! Goodbye.
Take care.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
Listen, before I get out of here, I got a bone to pick with my brethren, my brother from another part of the borough. He accused me of getting him sick. He said I was under the weather, and then conveniently, he was under the weather. Guess what? I'm still living under the weather. Are you still under the weather? You got the sniffles? Because I got the sniffles. You got the cough? I don't have a cough. No cough! No fever!